Hey there gang, what's cracking? This is AC here, and tonight's video is going to be fairly brief. As you can see, what's sitting in front of you is one of my latest designs. This is the small of the back holster. Haven't really come up with a name for it yet, but I'm going to work on it. So for now, let's just call it the backup. I know, very, very corny, but bear with me please. It's been very tough getting these videos done today. Basically, what brought me to come up with this design style here, and it does differ from a lot of the other small of the back holsters that are out there. Although it might differ very small as far as the visual aspect of it goes, which it does. Where it really differs is in the actual design of the back portion, which I'm going to show you later on. Also later on, I'm going to throw in some video clips and some pictures of things that Little AC, also known as XX, Double X, Big Mickey, Double X, or whatever it is for the PSN thing. Yeah, well, we went outside today and we did a little bit of shooting on how the holster fits and functions, so you guys can get a really good look of how it carries on, an actual person. That went well, but the video didn't, so I salvaged what I could, and we'll throw that in later on. Now, the main reason why I did one of these is because if you're anything like me, I like to carry a lot of EDC items. Always got 2 or 3 blades, some backup blades. I've got 2 or 3 mags, backup mags. I've got this. I've got multi-tools. I've got tasers and all kinds of things. I also like to carry a second backup gun. Okay? If you're an off-duty police officer, you probably carry one of those as well too. And when you're out in your civilian clothes, the real estate on your belt is very important. When you're carrying on your strong side with your pistol, you've got your multi-tools, your backup magazines, you might have a fixed blade, some pocket blades, and different things like that. Man, this space gets very limited very, very quick. Excuse me. Now, a lot of people that I know, because of that, they opt for a smaller backup pistol. Maybe something like the SIG P238. Maybe something like the Keltec PF9. Okay. Maybe you're rocking a Springfield, a Beretta. I mean, there's so many choices. Perhaps you've been lucky enough to get one of the new Smith & Wesson, the Shield, or the Beretta Nano, or the Springfield XDS, and again, man, that list just goes on and on and on. So I thought, how can I utilize this space the best way I can, and opt to carry a larger firearm as my backup gun. Reason being, the thing about larger firearms for your backup is that it gives you an option to carry more rounds. So you have a larger magazine capacity, you have a larger firearm itself. That might be an intimidation factor to some. You have a larger sight radius, so you can definitely be more accurate with your shots, which is very important. Also, with this holster here, you don't, let me just say, you necessarily wouldn't use it for a smaller firearm like this. Why? This usually is in the center of your back, or to the side just a little bit of your strong side. That's going to make it very hard to access with your arms. Unless, of course, you got gorilla arms. And in that case, dude, more power to you. But me, I'm a short, stocky dude, so there's no way that I'm going to be able to get back there. So, long story short, I wanted to be able to carry a larger size firearm, and I wanted it to be able to distribute the weight evenly from point A to point B on my belt line with all of the other items that I had, without offsetting the balance or without it being uncomfortable in any way. And that's why I came up with this, and that's why I did the design that I do. Now, before we look at the back, let me just say, the holster itself, this is the prototype. Now, what that means is that I really didn't be careful. I really didn't sand everything or little nicks. Again, I'm just showing you guys the holster, which, by the way, is now available. And I'm basically telling you my own personal philosophy behind it, and I'm going to show you in a second what I believe makes mine that much better than another one. Okay, so this grommet here, I had an idea for it, wasn't a good idea. It will not be there on the holsters that I'm going to be putting out, so kind of pretend that's not even there. Okay. A lot of the small of the back holsters are rounded in this area here. Well, I kind of decided to steer away from that and put a notch through here. This will be a little bit more straight. If you don't need the material there, I really don't have it. However, I don't like sharp edges, so I kind of go with a more natural flow design like you might have seen in my CX2 and 3s and my IWB and all of that other stuff. Okay? Another thing that I did that's a little bit different with mine is right here by the trigger guard. Now, being that a lot of times, especially if God forbid you ever get into a situation where you have to pull your firearm, gross motor skills, we're talking caveman period. So basically sight comes in handy. This holster sucks for sight because it's usually in the small of your back. Therefore, I made this portion of the holster open here. It's much easier to holster the firearm and draw the firearm without having to visually look to access the firearm right into the holster. So in layman's terms, it's just easier to draw and reholster the gun without having to look, because it gives it that little tiny bit of flex there. Another thing that I did with mine, I know a lot of people that have ordered my CX2s and 3s and the IWBs and all of these things. One thing I absolutely love about the holsters that I do is the design style of having that clamshell type. This enables the holster to be pulled very close to the body. It rides nice and tight and high and really makes the holster become a part of the body. This also brings the comfort level way up, and it just makes the holster incredible. Not to mention with the few other features of what I do to my holsters. Well, with the small of the back, this is not like your hip. And to keep in line with my philosophy here with being very ergonomic and natural to the body, the small of your back kind of dips in this way here. So what I've done is I've given it the curvature of the exact opposite of a clamshell. So instead of going this way, we're going to go this way with it. Okay? So this is going to enable the holster to fit very nicely into the small of the back. With these two access points here that are going to distribute the weight evenly, when you pull the belt tight, this kind of anchors it right into the small of the back, and let me tell you, man, it really feels good. It feels amazingly good, and you guys are gonna see that when I throw the little video clip in there. I mean, it really feels good. And again, a holster can be great. It can do everything you want, but if it doesn't feel right, if the fit and the function are a little bit off, if it pokes you in little certain areas here, you're gonna probably not carry it as much as you would if that wasn't there. And so that's why I really go for a very natural, simplistic design that, I mean, makes it work so good with your body. I really look at it not only from a gun to holster standpoint, but not only from a holster to belt standpoint, but really from the entire package and how the weight is going to work with your body and how your body, moves. I mean, we walk, we run, we bend and twist, and that's why I really put a lot of thought and design into the holster itself and how it works with your body and the different belts and all of this other stuff. So, I mean, I really do put a lot of thought into this stuff. Maybe a little too much. Maybe I got a little too much time on my hands, but I really take a lot of pride in it. So, I'm going to go ahead, I'm going to play a little bit of the video clip, maybe show you some pictures, and you guys will get a better idea. It's a very short clip, it might be a few seconds, but you guys will get an idea of how the holster actually rides on a belt on a real person.